Hello and welcome to the storage options video. The learning objectives for this particular video are for you to understand the main alternative storage options to store your cryptocurrency outside of keeping them in Binance, and to understand what the differences are between the main two types of wallet, hot and cold, and what the comparative advantages and disadvantages of both of those are. So firstly, what is a crypto wallet? Basically, cryptocurrency it exists on the blockchain, which you don't really need to worry too much about what that means right now. But essentially, it is part of a piece of continuous code, and it exists outside of your wallet. What you keep in your wallet is the keys, the private keys, which control who owns the cryptocurrency related to those keys. So what your wallet is essentially storing is a piece of code, and that piece of code is what you need to hang on to. When you're transferring money to somebody, you are using that code to assign ownership. So, the different types of wallet that you can use are online wallets, desktop wallets, hardware wallets, and paper wallets. Disadvantages of online wallets and desktop wallets are they both risk being hacked. Online in particular because it is always online, so it's always vulnerable to anybody with an internet connection who wants to try and attack it. And desktop wallets, when your computer is connected to the internet, then there is the chance that it could be hacked. Also, you could download malware and stuff like that, which could potentially give hackers access to your wallet. Hardware wallets are very secure because they are mainly offline and they are encrypted. It's kind of like a USB key, which has encryption and will store your secure keys, your private keys on there. And then paper wallets, they're very secure, but they are extremely difficult to trade from because what you're doing is writing down those secure keys or printing those secure keys out from your online wallet, for example. So moving money around using that system is just slow, and you can't trade online with it without basically typing everything out and moving things around into places where you can trade them. So looking specifically at online wallets, this includes things like Binance, where you're storing your cryptocurrency in Binance. That is effectively an online wallet. But then you have things which are more specific, like Copay, which is only a wallet and nothing else. And they do have very good security features in order to keep your stuff safe, but it does run the risk of being hacked. And that is the main drawback of keeping your cryptocurrency online. Desktop wallets such as Atomic Wallet and Bread Wallet, both very good. Again, as mentioned previously, if your computer is connected to the internet, you do run the risk of being hacked. It is a small risk, and you can mitigate those risks by using some of the things which I've mentioned in the previous video, i.e. good quality password, dual factor or multi-factor authentication, so that you need to have several pieces that are not all in the same place to open access to that. But really, the most secure type of wallet, if you're holding cryptocurrency for the long term, something like a Ledger or a Trezor are both very highly regarded solutions, and it's a physical thing which you can lock in a safe. And when your keys are on there, nobody's getting to them. It's a very, very safe and secure way to store these things. They can't be infected with malware, and the risk of being hacked is almost zero for those kind of things. So very good. You can also back them up as well, so you could have multiple copies. You could have one in a safe in one place, you could have one in a safe deposit box in a bank, and they could be copies of each other. So that is a really useful thing to have in place. If you're holding on to crypto for the long term, we'd probably recommend using something like a hardware wallet. It's going to take longer if you want to trade it urgently, but for the long term holds, you're not really looking at those small fluctuations anyway. You're holding it for the long term, so you have time to make those decisions. So the best thing for it is to keep it in the safest place possible. Now, paper wallets are, as I mentioned briefly, the idea that you could write your secure private keys down on a piece of paper and store it somewhere safe. This will mean your Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is safe, and it can't be moved without those keys. It's a good solution. It's very secure. Your piece of paper is never going to be hacked, but obviously it could get lost, it could get damaged and destroyed. So there are inherent risks with keeping it like that. And then obviously if you want to move things around as well, it's even slower than using a hardware wallet. So it has its advantages and disadvantages, as you can see. Points to remember for this video: we really feel that the maximum security on your Binance account is enough for the amounts you're trading with to be kept safe in there, but it's not necessarily a bad idea. Let's say you're trading Bitcoin pairings, so at the end of every trade your money goes back into Bitcoin. There's nothing wrong with taking that Bitcoin and holding it overnight in your hardware wallet so that it's definitely safe and away from, prying eyes on the internet. That's not a bad thing to do necessarily, but we keep our trading amounts in our Binance accounts because we believe the security there is safe enough. As long as your account's been verified and you have ID connected to your account, then it's not going to go anywhere. Your long-term investments, we would definitely recommend keeping somewhere harder to access, like a hardware wallet, and then when you do want to trade them eventually, you can just move them back into place. So that's a good overview of the different types of wallets that are available and their comparative disadvantages and advantages. So hopefully that's helped you understand a bit more clearly where you might want to keep your different types of crypto investments.